7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Everyone, in the last video we went over how to set up your account in Leadpages, and now that we're in Leadpages, I'm just going to run through all the various places where you can find your settings, the different components, get into the landing page builder and show you all of the different pieces of that. And then in the next video we'll start using that prototype that I had put together and implementing it within Leadpages. Within here, you see I have that landing page that I created in the last one, and then I just cloned it and created a test page. So this is my landing page section where I'll have all of my various landing pages listed. You'll also see a tab at the top called Sites. This would be if you were trying to build your entire website on Leadpages, which I don't recommend. If I were going to be building an entire website, I would build it on WordPress or a Drupal or a Shopify if you're e-commerce. I probably wouldn't suggest building your whole website here, but their landing pages are very, very powerful. So we're going to be working primarily within this section here. And then on the third tab, there's conversion tools. So if you've ever been on a site and a pop-up comes up and gives you a discount coupon or a resource that you can convert on, that's what this is. They have alert bars that like hang out across the top of the page. And they have two more other features that we'll be going through in some later videos, showing you unique ways that you can increase conversion rates on your landing page using some of these conversion tools. The last important section that you have here are your account settings. So you click on your little face here and you click in, and all of your account settings will be found within here. You have your subdomain that you selected in the sign up process, as well as the email that you signed up with. This is where you would change your password if you ever needed to do that. Your billing is set up on this tab. It tells you what subscription level you're on, what card it's associated with, and when your next payment is. If you want to upgrade, that's where you would do it here. Get all of your billing history, and if you were to purchase photos through Shutterstock, which is a stock photo provider, it'll show you those purchases in here. The domain section is if I wanted my landing pages to live at a custom domain that I purchased as opposed to this .lpages.co. I can connect a domain here. I will be showing how to do this in a later video. It's a little bit more advanced, but not too much. This will be after we've built the entire landing page and published it. I'll show you how you can put that on a custom domain later. Branding. So throughout this entire process on landing pages, you'll be needing a whole bunch of colors. And if you have a brand palette, like the colors that your brand uses, you can set those colors up in here so they're easily referenceable at any time within any landing page or opt-in window when you're trying to build these components. All of your various images would live here. The lead notification, so anytime someone submits a form on these pages, if you want an email to get notified, you would add that here. And then you just have these two last sections that we won't really be using, is if you want to deliver a lead magnet, you would put, or like something that you give someone after they convert, you'd put that in here. And if you want to set up payment gateways, which you need to be on the next level up from the one that we're on, like we did the basic trial package, you need to be one higher. But if you wanted to connect, Stripe, whatever your payment gateway is, to accept payments directly on your page, this is where that would be done. So we'll hop back into landing pages, and let's see, I don't think I have anything in this page. I'll open it up. No, this is one of their templates. So they do have templates. I'll create a new landing page. And so once you're on this landing page, you can select Browse All Templates. And if I do this, it'll give me the option to see all their pre-existing templates if I wanted to start from one of these. That is not what we're going to be doing. We're going to be starting from scratch to show you how to fully understand all of the components that are available to you within Leadpages and not rely on a pre-existing design. But you do have that shortcut should you ever want to go that route. So I'll click the Start with the Blank Template here. When it loads, I have to give it a name. I'll do LP test page number 2, and I'll continue. And then once you get in here, it's pretty empty. There's not a lot going on. So what you'll do is you'll click on Layout, and you'll see the sections. So when we did our prototype, we had a bunch of different sections. The header section, the social proof, the pain points, all that stuff. So when we create it, we'll create multiple different sections. We'll duplicate it and you'll name it, right? You'll say this is the header section. This section would be the social proof section, and this section would be maybe the pain points. And within each of these sections, I'll collapse the ones that we just worked on, or that I just opened. You have various styling, and we'll go into all these more, but you essentially have color, which controls the background color here. You can add a background image, and then these are important. So padding, top, bottom, left, and right. Padding means the distance between the elements that we put within a section and the border walls. So if I dropped an image in here or some text in here, and then I wanted it to have space between the outside walls here, that is what padding refers to. You can set like minimum heights for it. So if you want it to be full height, 90%, auto means that it automatically adjusts based on the content that's within it. And you can select the content alignment, top, center, or bottom. And we'll go through all the rest of these controls, but those are the primary ones within the style section. And then you'll notice right now I only have one row. Sorry. Within that row, I can add multiple columns, or I can add other rows within a section. So if I add another row, you'll see now I have one row and a second row, right? There's two there. But if I add another column within a row, you'll notice that I have it split into two. So I can add as many columns as I want, and then I'll have the ability to start dropping different elements into those columns within those rows. And you'll see how that'll play out as we start to build these pages in the next section. So that's pretty much how you structure your pages. You do sections with various rows in it, and then various amounts of columns in those rows to make the layouts that we want to make. The next piece that you'll see here is this widgets. And this is when we want to start dropping elements into that. So just to demonstrate my point, if I put it into those three columns that we just created, or into that one row, right? So this is that first row with three columns versus that second row with one column. That's like the difference in the layout, and I just dropped the headline in there. And within here you can do headline, text, images, videos, buttons, like forms for form submissions. Lines is if I wanted to do like a horizontal rule, which is what that's also called. A spacer if you want to add, it'd be more impactful if I put it here, if you want to add space in between objects, that's what that's for. Various icons that you can drop in, so you can go in here and you can edit what the icons that you want, should you ever want to use these. I don't really rely on these too much, but they're available to you. A progress bar, so say you have a multiple page sign up flow. A lot of people will test with splitting up forms or checkouts into multiple pages. You can put a process bar in here and select how much completion it is between pages. So it's pretty cool. You can turn on or off animation, so that is something that will be a little bit more advanced if you get into some of that. Image and text, which we'll actually be using in our landing page. It allows you to orient your image and your image and your text without having to set it up yourself. So with the layout here, we're going to be doing the alternating view. So we're going to have, as you saw in the prototype, image on the left, text on the right, and then alternating. The next section will be image on the right, text on the left. So that's what that does. Calendly embed. If you've ever used Calendly in the past, this is a calendar tool where you can essentially embed your calendar on a page and let people select the time to meet with you. Very powerful, especially in B2B marketing. Social shares is pretty straightforward. If you want to share on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, all that good stuff, you'd embed this. Social likes, same concept, only it's liking as opposed to sharing. If you're a restaurant or you want to link to something restaurant related, you could drop in open table, and this is just like dropping in a date. This is one of my favorite features, which we're actually going to be adding that I wasn't initially planning on, which is a countdown. You can select how much you want it to count down. So I want someone to land on my page to know that they only have 24 hours to complete this sign up. It'll start the countdown timer once they land on the page. And the last two, which are really helpful, is HTML, so we can start doing a little bit more advanced coding stuff. I know I mentioned there's no coding required to do this, but should you ever want to use coding, you can drop in custom HTML blocks and actually like hard code some stuff if you choose to. And then the last one, which is not on our plan, it's on the Pro plan, is that checkout that I mentioned. Beyond that, you have your general styles. So in here you can come and set what styles by default headlines are, text is, countdown fonts. Like that is like if I create a new section, it'll default to that font, whereas then you can also always come in here and adjust that font manually. The page background color, this is again default. Page width, if you want it small, medium, or large. We're going to be using large, which is that full width. A favicon, so you notice here in the top left where there's the Leadpages icon, that's called a favicon. So when you publish a page on the web, it will show your logo here as opposed to whatever the default is. And then again with the custom coding, if you ever want to use custom CSS, hard coding yourself to change some styles, you can do that here. In a video at the end of this course, I'll show you how we can create this page just standard without using any code. And then for people who are interested, I'll expand upon the page with a little bit of basic HTML and CSS to show you what's possible if you want to explore these areas. And the last section in here is the tracking section. This is where you'll optimize for SEO, your SEO page title, page description, and keywords, which I'll show you what those are, and the same for Facebook. Facebook uses what's called Open Graph. So when you share something on there, the data that you put in these Open Graph tags is what's displayed when you share it on social media. And in the analytics section, this is where I'm going to be teaching you later in the course how to hook this up to Google Analytics tracking, how to embed some custom code so we can do A/B testing using Google Optimize, and how to embed a chat bot in here. So this will be very useful later on in the course. And overall, that's all the things that we're going to be using within the editor. In the next video, we're going to start actually building the prototype that I showed you section by section. So the first video will be the header section, and we'll work our way down until we finish the entire page. Stay tuned, it's going to be really fun.